What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Trey, and I'm from the source with the source, and I'm here with
Jaylen McClain.
what up, Jaylen? How you been?
I've been good. How about you?
I've been doing pretty good. Last time we talked, I believe that was around last December, right?
Yeah, around last December before I came to school.
Yeah, a lot's happened since then, and just as you alluded to before you came to school, that's the first question. How was the first week or first month on campus for you?
Well, like socially and just like, it just being something new for me. It was a little bit challenging. I feel like it was a pretty good adjustment that was smooth, but obviously, me being like a young guy that's never been on their own before, it's just a little bit hard, just, making my, getting around and just trying to, just get used to the new things. Obviously, workout wise, with Ohio State, it's challenging. Yeah, they're gonna push you to your breaking point every day and make sure you're getting right every day. So that's the hard part that obviously just gotta get used to.
Okay. I just realized I didn't even introduce you that great. For anybody who don't know, this is Jaylen McClain, true freshman in the 2024 class. He's a safety who's currently attending the Ohio State University, and he's from New Jersey. Now, you already talked about you kind of got into like that whole first month on campus with everything in the weight room and all that type of stuff, everything in the classroom. How was it for you once you finally got past all of that stuff and stepped on to the practice field for the first time for the first official practice of spring ball?
So at first, I didn't really realize like how much really went into like studying and like really getting to know football as well as just playing football. Obviously, you get recruited here, they know you can play football, but the mental side of things, is a little bit hard at first. So we had two practices before spring break, so those two practices I did good, but I felt like I could have done way better. So
Yeah.
when I got back from spring break, that's when I had to turn up the hustle a little bit, and just you know get the studying right. And that's when I started having fun.
Okay. Now, how was that? I know Ohio State specifically does things a lot different when it comes to spring ball. Like a lot of the teams will have their whole spring ball like after spring break. Ohio State had like the first two or three practices or so, then went to spring break, then you guys came back. How were you able to adjust to that schedule?
So obviously, having the first two practices, that was something. But that week of spring break really like tested people like, are you gonna stay on top of your stuff or are you not? Like it's really gonna determine like the separation is gonna start coming when you get back from that break. And I felt like I had a pretty good mindset going into my break, and I studied a lot, and that's when I started playing a lot faster, a lot quicker, had a lot more fun making plays.
Okay, okay. I like you use a very specific word that resonates with me a lot, and that's separation. Each summer for the past 3 years, I call it each summer the summer of separation for me in my personal life. Like just me wanting to get better as a person, separating myself from where I was in the beginning of the summer towards the end of the summer with like my content and like really putting in that work towards that. Obviously, you're gonna be home for like what, around a month or less, right?
Well, I'm back now, so I just got back because of summer classes and all that
Oh,
type
okay,
of
okay, okay.
stuff.
Yeah, so you're gonna be there for the summer. You're gonna be participating in all the workouts and everything. How do you plan on separating yourself this summer from like where you were now to by the end of the summer? How do you plan on improving your game the most?
Pretty much just by like keeping the momentum I have in the spring. I feel like I had a pretty good spring, and I feel like I just got to keep the momentum going. Can't be like a spring game warrior or anything like that. Just got to keep it going and just improve on the things that don't take talent. Like being a leader. Getting to the ball or you know just holding myself and my other teammates accountable.
Okay, okay. That's smooth. You've only been on campus since January. It's the beginning of May, but you and the rest of the whole defensive group have already experienced some adversity in your own right. You guys have to deal with Coach Eliano leaving the program, and then Coach Matt uh how do you
Guerrero.
Guerreri. I was trying to pronounce it beforehand. Coach Matt Guerreri coming in. How were you able to deal with that, and how did that affect the day-to-day of things?
So Coach E had left, well not left, but things had
Yeah.
happened right before you know right like, as soon as I got there, as soon as I got to campus, I had just moved in, all that. I got the news from Coach Walt. It was rough at first because it's recruitment is about connections and relationships and stuff like that. So to create a relationship that tight that I have with Coach E, and for him to for things to just not work out that way, like I was thought, it was definitely a little bit challenging at first. And then for me and my family, because they had to hear the news as well.
Yeah.
And then I had to meet Coach Guerreri, and you can't really turn back from there. Most people enter the portal and just dip out because that's just not what they came there for. But I feel like the first conversation I had with Coach Guerreri, I trusted him. He had a great head on his shoulders. He had a great plan for just the team in general. And I felt like that was somebody I wanted to get coached by, and things have taken off from there.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you about the most because when we interviewed previously, that was one thing that stuck out that you told me. You said that your relationship with Coach Eliano was a big reason why you became a Buckeye. You said that from your conversations, y'all he didn't really care too much about stars or whoever else was in that area. Like he knew that he could develop you. He trusted you. He wanted you in the program. So that must be tough, like going through like somebody who like you essentially was a driving key for you to go to a program and that person's leaving.
Right.
I think in this era of college football, this is the era like you can't really get too caught up in kind of cultural relationships in terms of like the reason why you come to a certain place or stay because there is so much like player movement, coaching
Exactly.
movement. Yeah. So how did you think like from there going on because you have a younger brother that's gonna be coming up in the recruiting ranks. What can you teach him from just your experiences so far in the first what 3, 4 months of you being on campus? What can you take away that you can actually teach him for when his recruitment comes up?
Pretty much like just talk ball with coaches. Like all that recruitment stuff is cool, and like taking the pictures and all the the team meetings and the coaches trying to talk good on you and stuff like that. But like no, just talk ball. I feel like the main thing about college football is just having the IQ and just knowing football in general. That could just like push you ahead of everybody, and just be able to like stick with coaches and meetings, be able to talk to them, a lot smarter. And obviously, like take all your visits because you just don't know what's gonna be your fit. If you don't take a visit, that could have been your fit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just take all your visits. Just play hard. Just don't think about offers and stars and all that. And during the season, just try to stay healthy and just play your game.
Yeah, you talked about just like basically you summarized it as you got to see everything through. You got to make sure you do your due diligence. I realized that I didn't completely do my due diligence when writing out these questions because I just thought about a question I didn't even write down. One of the biggest, probably one of the best players in college football, ended up transferring into the program at your position of safety and Caleb Downs. What impact has he been able to make on the team in general as a whole and really on you as a mentor?
For the team, he has a lot of experience just for someone that played for 1 year. He played in a lot of games. He made a lot of plays, so he has a lot of respect around the program. So I feel like he brings another level of leadership and obviously talent to go with it. That's just self-explanatory. Just you could tell by the way he carries himself and when you can turn on the tape just how he plays. Um, for me, being in the same position as him, just being like right behind him, in rotation, it helped me out a lot, pushed me, to like I see him in the building, I'm trying to be in the building as well. Just picking his brain and just learning from him and just being in like with the coaches it just helped me stick around and just, get a lot smarter, faster, and just, it helped me gain some respect as well from, him and some of the older guys.
Okay. Yeah, like how you just use that word. You said older guys, like, and the crazy part is he's only a year older than you. Like he was playing college
Yeah.
football 1 year longer than you. But like it's kind of like once you step into the college realm, have you ever watched Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like the hyperbolic time chamber, like you go in there
Exactly.
and you could be in there for like 2 hours, but to everybody else on the outside, it was like 5 years
Yeah.
you were in there.
Exactly.
And yeah, like how is that? Like, what do you feel like the adjustment was from being in high school just a few months ago to now you're in college and you're like in there with the big dogs?
Obviously, like, the game speed, is a little bit different. I feel like in the league I played for, uh, it was pretty similar, but obviously, you're playing for the best of the best here. You're going against the fastest, strongest, quickest people in the
Yeah,
country. That's obviously gonna be a little bit different. But the mental side of things, is the biggest thing. You just gotta study, 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 study all day long. You gotta be able to know the playbook like inside and out, be able to play the game and play at the speed you want to play at. Because I'm pretty sure there's people out here that as talented as the most talented people in the world, but they don't know the playbook, so they can't play fast. So I
yeah,
didn't want, I didn't want that to be me. And yeah,
yeah. So it's kind of like athletically, no one really has an edge because like everybody is a great athlete. Everybody's like the best, one of the best players from like their states, the best player from their school. So like you said, like if they don't like not only knowing the playbook, but like really like fully understanding it, you know what I'm saying? To a part that like the intricacies of like what everybody else is doing, especially you as a safety. Like you would know
exactly.
like the rotations of how the linebackers move, how the corners move, everything like that, and like really
Exactly.
using that to your advantage, huh?
Right. Yeah. You just gotta know it. Simple as that. You gotta
Yeah.
be able to execute.
I seen, and it's crazy because like ever since I was able to like kind of like really like get to know you guys and everything, and then like when you hear like coaches and like all the little media personnel like talk about these players, like you like have conversations with. I was watching I think it was like the podcast daily, and then Burn mentioned you. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like the day before the spring game. They was in like their bold takes, and he literally said Jaylen McClain pick six. How was like were you able to like did you see that before, after? Like what was that like for you?
I didn't really know about it before. But like right after the game, like that's what I heard about, and it's crazy because like that it happened like somewhat, you know what I mean? But like for that to even be a take on me, I just get, I get a lot of respect. I feel the respect from just, knowing that like people think I can make that type of play. So
Yeah. I feel like that speaks to what you're doing right now in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center because like obviously not everybody's able to see that like what the day-to-day things is going on, and like obviously like that's just like a media personnel mentioning you, but like you were literally mentioned by the head coach Ryan Day as like somebody who can like earn playing time pretty quickly. How did that make you feel when you heard that, if you did hear that?
yeah, so I heard that. Obviously like people don't know what's going on inside of Woody day to day, and just know the specifics of certain type of things. But I'm not gonna really get into much of that. But you
Yeah,
know, I just show like I'm just trying to work. You know what I mean? Just trying to earn respect, get better every day. And hopefully, I just is able to show on the field and be able to reflect in big games.
yeah. And that's tough. Like you said, not really a lot of people know what's going on day to day. People react from like clips. Like you see clips.
Yeah,
Obviously, like it doesn't show the full picture, you know what I mean? But so far from your experiences in the Woody, everything that you've been through, and you can say it on here if you don't want it to be like in the vid, I can like scratch that part out. But who do you think is the toughest matchup that you had so far in like one-on-ones?
um, I've guarded JJ in the slot before. Not
Okay.
many people have done that, so it's a little bit different up in there. It's just a lot. I'm a safety, so there's no one really behind me, so I'm
Yeah.
the one guarding him. I don't like think he caught it, but like no, he didn't catch it. But like just guarding him in the slot alone, just like he's a big, strong, fast, physical receiver. Like it's gonna be hard to when he's on your toes. As soon as the ball's snapping, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like obviously like when he was making plays, like a lot of the plays that he makes become like highlight clips and like you
Yeah, exactly.
see it on social media, but like you don't really see like everything that the defenders are doing because like that's not to the average fan. Like I can give you like from a player perspective and then from a fan perspective, fans want to see like those receivers making big plays and stuff like that. So that's usually what they post a lot. But in that spring game, we saw a different story. We really seen those DBs come
Oh
up
yeah,
and really
yeah.
lock stuff up.
Yeah, so BIA was in full effect. That's just a standard, you know what I mean? It's not like people should be surprised or anything like that. Obviously, people see the clips on Instagram of all the offensive plays, but that's just what the media wants to see. They don't
Yeah,
want to see deflections and all that type of stuff. But just no BIA. We
yeah,
stand on talk about.
for sure, for sure. And speaking of BIA, and everything that goes on in practice, who on the team, it could be defense, offense, whatever, but who do you say is like that real like juice guy? Who really brings the energy from period one to the final period of practice?
Hey, I'm gonna have to go Davidson. He brings it, every day. No matter what it is, on the field, off the field, he's gonna bring it every time. I feel like that brings just a unique type of look to the team that not many schools have because they got that one guy that just can bring it. It's contagious. He gets one person like him has the juice, then the rest of the team has the juice. It just gives BA that swag, that look that not many D rooms have. Just and he goes on through the team because just how we try to bring it.
That's tough. And that's definitely like something that comes into play of being like kind of like an older group with the DBs. You had everybody come back from Denzel Burke, Jordan Hancock. Obviously, you got Iggy, and like you said earlier, like just y'all being around each other, and you see one dude coming in there getting in work, another dude gonna want to get in. Somebody might see you and be like, all right, that's a true freshman. If he ain't here working, I gotta work. So it's kind of it's contagious in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a couple 2 days ago, actually, on Sunday, I came to Columbus. This is the first time I was in Columbus since 2016. One of my
Wow.
best friends, probably my best friend in the world, he graduated college. He got his bachelor's. And that was my first time ever in the shoe, actually. And I was like in awe to see like it was almost filled up and it was just a graduation. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's crazy. So I want to hear from your perspective. Your first time in the horseshoe for the spring game. What was it? 80,000?
Yeah,
80,000
80.
attendance?
Yeah.
Walk me through that. Like, what was your perspective? How did you feel? How did you perceive everything? How was that for you?
So my first actual time shoot was like the day before. And it's like, just being in the shoe, just I had a smile on my face from like yesterday. I ran down the
Yeah,
tunnel. But the spring game, seeing 80,000 people in the crowd, just doing the walk before getting in the shoe was just something different. But
yeah.
just to see 80,000 fans in there ready to support Ohio State football, it just shows a lot. Just the history, tradition, and just like how much football means to the city, and just it just still brings a smile on my face knowing that we'll be able to play even more like bigger crowds when the season comes. So it's gonna be something you just got prepared for.
Okay, okay. Speaking of the season, and we're gonna take Team Up North out of this. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But obviously, aside from the rivalry game, what game are you looking forward to the most this season?
The Oregon game, being able to go to go to them, play in their stadium, you know, West Coast type of thing, and just like go against a team that likes to air raid a lot. And it was just be able to test BAA just a little bit. It's gonna be a good matchup. They got a pretty solid team, a lot of weapons, and just a lot of talent. But we have a lot, just as much talent, so it's gonna be a really good matchup.
I think it's gonna be actually the best matchup. Maybe one of the best matchups in all of college football. But I think it's gonna be the best matchup for y'all this season. And like obviously I'm a big Ohio State fan, but I just make college football content. I talk about everybody. And when it comes to my content, I take my bias off to the side. I think that like Oregon has one of the best receiving cores in the country. And
Right.
obviously y'all match up against like even as an Ohio State fan, take my bias to the side. Y'all match up against the best receivers every single day. So I'm very interested to see Ohio State's DBs versus Oregon's receivers. I think they got a number of guys and they had a couple of transfers. I think Evan Stewart from Texas
Yeah.
A&M. He's going to be really good doing his thing. So I'm interested to see how this DB group this year plays against them, especially fully healthy, because I feel like we really didn't get too many games where the whole DB unit was fully healthy. You had games that you had Ransom out, Burke was out a couple of games. I think Proctor played mostly all the games, right?
Yeah, he
But
played ball. Oh,
now you got everybody can be fully healthy. And even if there aren't, you just have so many different variations of DBs you could put out there. Like you got nickels like Jordan Hancock you could put out
yeah.
downs. You also have Jermaine Matthews, who I think he graded out as one of I think for sure the highest rated freshman.
Yeah.
and in general, like one of the highest rated defensive backs in general. So I think that's going to be a great matchup. I'm really interested to see how like that atmosphere is for that game. Just because like now I feel like Oregon kind of has things that they want to prove. Just from the simple fact that like they last year in the Pac-12, they couldn't get past Washington. And now they're
Yeah.
going to an even bigger conference. So I think it's going to be a lot of exciting matchups this season.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right. Now this is I've been wanting to talk about this since it happened. Walk me through as soon as the ball snapped, the processes of everything. Walk me through that pick six.
So it was like I don't know for sure. I know for sure it was a third down. Yeah, three split out receivers. I mean, we know it's a pass at that point.
Okay.
Coach made pretty good call. Just put the DBs in a really good spots. Just make some plays. I lined up right over the third receiver. As soon as he ran that little out route, I knew they were throwing. Like, in practice, like you start seeing things a lot.
Yeah.
I saw once he made that break, I just looked straight for the ball because I knew I was on his hip. Obviously, it could have been probably a little bit better of a ball, but like, that's not my problem. So like, I just cut it off and just caught the ball. Once I caught the ball, I just saw green grass by a couple other guys. I was like, let me just get an end zone. I know I got tagged off, but like it's live and the
Yeah.
whistle's blown. I'm still gonna take it to the end zone because like we were in the live period with the whistles blowing, so I didn't get tackles. So I just kept going.
I was gonna ask, I was like, did you hear the whistle or you were just like F the whistle? I'm scoring.
Yeah, like I heard one whistle, but then I was just like, I'm
It's
just keep
like, hey,
going.
what's the harm? What's the harm?
I'm saying I'm gonna take it to the end zone.
Let me go score real quick. Was your family there?
Yeah, my family's there.
You gotta score, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
score. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You gotta take advantage of your opportunities. How was that to finally like be on the field with those guys that you came into the class with? I know this was like my first year uh last year really paying attention to like recruiting and stuff like that. But seeing how you guys like kind of like was interacting with each other on social media and like when guys weren't committed, trying to get guys to join the team and all that type of stuff, and now finally being on the field with them.
I know it feels great. The guys try to build bonds with before you even get here, and then when you get here, they just become even stronger and just tighter. It feels good to just finally be out there on the field with them. It's one thing just hanging out, kicking it with them like on the outside, but actually, we here to play football, go to school, so to actually be out there with them on the field just was even better. Play the game that we love. Was recruited here to play for, and just got put on for our class.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, now we talked about Jaylen McClain as an athlete, as a student athlete, your first experience in the horseshoe. But let's get back to Jaylen McClain as the person. Besides obviously your family, that's what everybody's gonna say. But what did you miss the most about being back home?
Uh, Really, it was just like just my town, like my city, really like
Yeah,
being able to drive around there. You get the same spots I used to, sleep in my own bed like I used to, and just be able to like go back to my school, like my high school. Be able to talk to my old teachers, my coach, principal, all that type of stuff. It feels good. Definitely going back to school to be able to just get them that time. Be able to talk to them after they allowed me to be able to early enroll here.
yeah,
It was a lot, so to be able to just that's the least I could do really.
yeah. Were you able to go back home during spring break or no?
Yeah, I went back for a little bit, then I went to Miami for a little bit.
Okay, how was Miami?
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun for sure.
Did you have you turned 18 yet or no?
Nah, not yet. I will be
Yo,
in.
that's like something that's like those experiences are cool. Like you get to experience more. Like you're about to travel the country, like literally playing football. You're about to travel the country, and you're not even 18 yet. Already,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
moved to a completely different state, like hours away. Then from there, was able to go to Miami, enjoy that and stuff like that. Like that, those type of experiences, I feel like is what makes college football great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So was there anything that like once you got home, because you was only home for like what 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, for about a week, some time. Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything that like once you got home, you was like, dang, I didn't appreciate this as much as like now since I'm back?
Just having my parents around, like, be able to, like, some, like, the little structure things let you, like, get away from you back, like, when you're, like, when you're on your own, like, like eating and stuff like that. They be able to, pay for your food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I ain't really like take out the garbage like that. That's what my brothers do since that's their house now. You know what I mean? Take out the garbage. I do all that stuff myself right here.
Yeah.
Just being able to spend time with my brothers. I don't get that much time like that no more. Obviously being here, so I can't take that for granted.
Oh yeah, you got two brothers, right?
Yeah.
And they're both younger than you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so you already know, like once you big brother, you kind of like gotta insert yourself back in the picture when you're home. Like, yeah, this
Yeah,
still my crib, you know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. Did you still like once you when you first like got away, not got away, but when you first went away for college and everything, how often were you like talking to your parents and everything? Like, was it like still like every day, or was
Yeah.
you kind of like getting your space a little bit?
Yeah, it was everyday thing still. I enjoy talking to my parents. So, being able to stay connected with them, just not lose connection really. Not try to act Hollywood or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got the game console and stuff like that. I'll be able to play the game with my brothers if they wanted to. Still, they got phones. I talk to them, stuff like that. So I really just,
Yeah.
try to stay home, stay connected.
Yeah. I feel like my mom, um, I just turned 25 and I still talk to my mom every day. Like if I
Yeah,
can like, it's like the day don't really feel complete if you don't talk to your mom, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. But we gonna end things out on a fun note. Man, I can't believe we almost made it to the day, but I think July 19th, that's when the new college football video game
Uh,
dropped. You excited about it?
Yeah, for sure. That's gonna be, a little interesting to see how that even works out. Like, the gameplay, rosters, just seeing, certain people in the game. That's gonna be, interesting.
Yeah. And then you already opted into everything, right?
Yeah, I opted in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so I believe when I interviewed Miles, I had asked him what his highest attribute was going to be. I asked Trey McNutt the same question, but I'm gonna ask you right now. Predict your EA College Football 25 overall rating, year one.
Realistically, it's probably gonna be like max of 70 as of right now. If they're
Yeah,
doing mid updates, it can
yeah,
go up, but I'll say my overall gonna be a 70.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real.
I mean, you got that pick six, bro. That gotta
Yeah,
come. That gotta
hopefully
come to like something, man. It's like catching a traffic, a little bit of
yeah,
something, a little
on
boost.
speed or something.
Eat or something. Now that's funny. All right, we're gonna close this thing out. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and remember, always get 1% better every single day. Peace.